It is today. It is that day. You know which one it is. I don't know how much more vague I can get. Probably more vague, because I'm Robo. Here's the rewind. Ooh, we haven't had a Yolopark Transformers AMK Pro Series Optimus Prime model kit update in a good 2 weeks or so, right? They posted this week that it is ready to be shipped, and I ordered directly from them. It should be in the mail right now. Let me check. Oh, wait. What's that say beside it? Or above it, I guess, depending on what social platform you're looking at. But 98%. It's 98% ready to be shipped. Such a tease, because you know what I saw first. Shipped. Oh, maybe I can finally open that Megatron that I've been sitting on all this time now, because at this point, I'm just gonna wait and open them as a pair. But still, it's an update, and I gotta keep this gag running, right? If that hurts your feelings, then I thought you were made of sterner stuff. That's on you. Since we're talking Transformers, remember the Threezero MDLX Transformers Vintage Animation Editions that we talked about last month? Where they take those sweet, sweet molds of Optimus, Bumblebee, and Megatron and just make the colors lighter and brighter to make it look like the original cartoon? And how a tiny amount was going to be released at TFCon, followed by limited numbers released at select distribution partners? Remember that? Well, Big Bad Toy Store is that retail partner, so if you're in any way interested in these, then the link is in the description. I already rambled about these at length. Basically, I love these looks for them, but because of the prices of MDLX, I am gonna be perfectly happy with the first Prime and B. Megatron still throws me with the toy squiggles on the chest when these are supposed to be animation style, but at the same time, I kinda like toys. So that doesn't really bother me at all. So I think this is gonna be my Megatron. And if nothing else, he can hang out with the Hasbro Toy Colors Galvatron, because Walmart will not put the regular Galvatron on clearance. It's been $55 for a good 25 years now, and I continue to wait. Someday, you'll be mine, but until then, I'll be happy with the vintage toy colors. Where were we? Oh, MDLX. Link in the description. Rolling into other things that we already knew about, the Spiro Toys Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Series 2 Kickstarter is alive and, well, kicking. In fact, it's kicking ass. It's had no trouble funding at all. And why wouldn't it? The figures look amazing. Go to the clip.
Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Primal Series 2, featuring 4 all-new body types, including reptiles with mix and match armor options for the pale buck, brawlers for beefy force multipliers, heroines with a sleek athletic aesthetic, and speedsters with a more slim and agile profile. Now with pinless joints, as well as added calf cut articulation. This campaign will have plenty of stretch goals, including head packs and action figures. Join the tribe and collect them all. Animal Warriors of the Kingdom Primal Series 2.
Like I said, it had no problem funding, and it's well on its way to unlocking some of the stretch goals like Grimes, who, come to find out, is actually the first mate of Boone, who is a pirate. And then this, so much backstory. Again, if you want to learn more about that, link is in the description to the Kickstarter. You can read all about it. A couple of things I picked up on. Gretsch's eyes are articulated, and while there's head packs for each new body type, they actually show the ones for the lizards or the cold-blooded. The chameleon becomes a snake, and then Corvius gets turned into a horny toad, or a lizard with spikes. That's not nearly as fun to say, though. Then you can differentiate those even more with the heavy infantry armor packs, so whole lot of lizard going on. Bottom line, lots of options. Go see for yourself. We're only halfway through the month, and Medicom is already teasing their next round of MAFEX pre-orders. The theme is the boys, and can you guess who the characters are? There's no guessing involved, is there? It's Soldier Boy and the Deep. That makes sense because they showed an early prototype of the Deep next to a placard of Soldier Boy back in the summer of 22. And I hate saying it like that. Back in the summer of 22. Like it was a long, long time ago. Like it was so far back. The time, it just keeps on a-passing. Another item that was already on our radar is the NECA store exclusive Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon Donatello lab diorama. Again, there's a video presentation. Gather around the TV, children. Mr. Robo's gonna sneak down to the teacher's lounge and grab himself a yogurt or something. I don't know.
A massive 25 by 13 by 15 that scales perfectly with the NECA Turtles, the Turtle Van, the street scene, and the living room dial. All sold separately. It works as its own great display piece, coming with its base, 3 walls, and a foam street topper to complete the look. Also included are a multitude of freestanding lab accessories that you can place around your diorama however you'd like. Pre-orders are open at both domestic and international for $299.99 plus shipping, and the NECA store also offers payment plan options.
All I got is this is an expensive sewer room for your Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. If you're down, you're down. If you're not, you're not. I'm just the substitute, okay? I'm just here showing pictures. At this point, all y'all know that the Mattel Masters of the Universe cartoon collection has captured my heart. That's my main MOTU obsession at the moment. But that doesn't mean I can't look at pretty promotional pictures of Masterverse, especially when they are as sweet as Snout Spout. Just look at this magnificent bastard. I've had my nitpicks with Masterverse in the past, especially when it comes to proportions, but Mattel has been improving that as time goes by. But old Hose Nose here, simply because of the design, bypasses all of my head-size gripes. He's just a big jacked muscle guy with a cyborg elephant head on his shoulders. He didn't ask for any of this, but he is making the best of it. He's making do with the cards that he was dealt. This is the kind of silliness that I love in toy lines, that I love when it comes to the 80s stuff. And I don't mean silliness in a bad way, you know that. I'm all about the silly. This is a Mattel Creations exclusive, which can be nerve-wracking, but the last time I looked, which I could probably do right now, but I'm just gonna go with instinct. I'm gonna go with my past experience from, was it yesterday that I looked? It was still available to order, and I think it is shipping right now, so jump on it. Look at him. How can you pass him up? Now, about Rio Blast. Because we're on the subject of Mattel, that lands us on Street Sharks. This may surprise a lot of you, but I don't have a lot of experience with Street Sharks, except that Vin Diesel presentation from Toy Fair in the 90s. Every time that pops on my YouTube feed, I gotta click it. I gotta watch it again. Head Shark! So, Robo don't know. Haha, I said the thing. But I thought I'd mention him because I couldn't help taking a stab at recutting the video that Mattel put out earlier this week. Just trimming it down a bit, adding sound effects, new score, just seeing what I was gonna do. I thought, ooh, that sounds fun. Ooh, click, 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 click. Not having any of the original toys, from what I understand, these follow the same formula as Masters of the Universe Origins, where they take those classic designs and then add more articulation to them. Basically what the Origins packaging says. Modern posing, retro play. The first wave consists of Jab, Slash, and Ripster, and this may be the only thing that sparks a little memory. Maybe from commercials, maybe seeing it in a toy aisle, or falling for Big Toys propaganda stunts. But like you saw in the intro, there will be more. I'm guessing a wave 2 consisting of that other shark guy, and then Rollerblade McFinn, and then Flippy Face Do Batter. I don't know Street Sharks, I told you that. I think I've said it several times in the past few months. I am starving for some new Star Wars. The new Amazon exclusive Fallen Order 3 pack is cool, it's just not up my alley. And that's okay. I am not griping about that. I do not expect everything to be catered to my own personal wants and needs. It shouldn't be. And I know I just got the Ahsoka crew and Balin and Shin and a fantastic Mando, but something still seems to be missing. Some pizzazz, some flair. I think it's the lack of classic, and I was gonna say even on the prequel side, but they're Padme and Anakin's coming out, and the Droidicas and Super Battle Droid, and Mundi should be somewhere. Where's he? We've known about him for 16 years, and he's not released yet. Or at least I don't have him. I think I'm really talking about original trilogy. I know I'm swerving away from the point here. This 3-pack with Cal and Second Sister and the Trooper. But I can't help it, you know? That seems to be missing at the moment. Maybe they're waiting for an anniversary, something like that. I'm getting Star Wars toys, and I'm happy with a lot that I'm getting. It's just... need fired up. And it feels like we're building up to something like that. Like, May the 4th is coming. There's electricity. Okay, I won't say electricity. There's a slight tingle in the air. Like, come on. Just take that step. Just give us so much new stuff. I don't mind reuse and everything. Just more stuff. New old stuff. But that's just me daydreaming. My own personal wants. Again, I don't expect them to make everything I want or I need. It's just, I'm recording, Star Wars comes up, I'm just gonna talk about whatever I want. When it comes to this 3-pack, I don't need Cal, he looks cool. Second Sister is neat with the fabric cape, but for some reason I'm drawn to the Trooper. Maybe it's because of the Electro Hammer? Is that new? Or did it come with something that I didn't get? Because that thing looks kind of badass, even though it looks like a vehicle part, like he's actually changing out the transmission in a TIE fighter or something. Either way, quite a bit of reuse out there for fans of the game. Amazon exclusive, doesn't affect anything in the grand scheme of things. Speaking of exclusives, we've talked about the offerings for Walmart's Collector Con, which kicked off this week. Some were announced way back, and we've talked it to death, like the Star Wars Black Series R46DO, which was the top of my list, so I grabbed that. There was Marvel Legends, Hydra, Captain America, and then the Spider-Man Animated Series retro-carded Prowler. But I was hoping for surprises, and we got that with the Hasbro G.I.Joe Classified Series Night Force Shockwave and Night Pursuit Cycle. You don't know how many times it took me to remember Night Pursuit and not say Hot Pursuit. And at first I thought, okay, this is a lot of reuse, like exclusives should be, just in dark, moody colors. Which is cool. It's Night Force. It's doing its job. It's giving us story exclusives and it's appeasing the fans of Night Force. All well and good. This made me realize that I should probably go back and pick up the regular release of Shockwave, because seeing him like this made me appreciate the blue a lot more. I don't have a lot of attachment to Shockwave, but that would pop on the shelf. Little specks of yellow, yeah. This comes off as Good Guy Firefly, whereas the regular version of Shockwave seems more heroic. Maybe it's the blues, maybe it's other things, which I'm getting there, calm down. Then Tony, the painter from the fan streams, posted this digital render reveal shot, and I studied up, put them side by side, and I realized, oh man, that body is not reuse. Well, okay, it is reuse, but not of the original Shockwave. This body, or at least most of it, is actually the retro-carded Duke that we haven't even gotten yet. I can't speak on what's under the vest, but I do think the shoulders are from Shockwave, and then of course the head. I mean, that's obvious. But this fixes the neck problem that I had with the first Shockwave. He seemed to have a really high head. Not here, at least as far as I can tell. The forearms also seem to be new too. Duke has rolled up sleeves, and then the original Shockwave did have sleeves all the way down with cuffs, but it seems on the Night Force version the cuffs are smaller. So very similar sculpt, but different, I think, as far as I can tell. That's just me looking at pictures. But you know what the kicker was? Let's zoom in. Look at that. That guy has seen some shit. The neck fix, great. The new body, awesome. The motorcycle, I have a couple already, but in this color scheme, okay, I'll take it. But this is what sold me. This is what made me pre-order this, besides wanting to get free shipping on the Astromech together. Whoa, yeah, no shipping, I get to save $6. The darkness around the eyes just gives him so much character. While we're talking about paint though, zoom back out. the camo on the pants, does it make anybody else's eyes fuzzy? Like, I'm trying to focus, but I can't. That's neat in a certain way, but also at the same time, I need to get an appointment with an optometrist because I don't know if that's me or if that's everybody. So like I said, pre-ordered because I am a weak man. But that pendulum swings both ways because, okay, we already knew about the NECA Dungeons & Dragons 50th Anniversary Warduke. He was featured on Strong Hearts card back when that went up for pre-order a couple weeks ago or a month ago, last year. 22 years, something. We just didn't know when. Then Walmart Collector Con swings around and boom, there it is. And I thought, that's on my list. I need that. And I flipped it into my cart. And maybe because I was spending money on other things already, I flopped it back out of the cart. Then I flipped it back in and then saw the shipping. And it wasn't so much the price, it was that it didn't qualify for free because it ships directly from NECA. So, it's the principle of the thing, so I flopped it back out. Flipped it back in because, man, this design kicks ass. But then flopped it back out because I have the first one in realistic colors that I love. I absolutely love. Flipped it back in because I can't say nostalgia, because I didn't even really know that Dungeons & Dragons was a toy line until I was well into adulthood. So I guess it was the retroness, the throwbackiness of the clean paint job and everything. But then I flopped it back out because, do I need it? And which is very adult of me. You've watched this before. You know I'm a creature of habit, impulse, and I never flipped it back in, as good as it looks, because it's a design that holds up all these years. 50 years, in fact. It endures. It has a longevity. And, well, I mean, you can say that about a lot of 80s stuff that we're still buying new interpretations and iterations of, you know? Well, okay, I can also say I passed on the retro 50th anniversary Strongheart too, so I'm not building that collection, but it is Warduke. Okay, class, talk amongst yourselves while Mr. Robo goes outside for a walk to consider his life choices and such. Last but not least, McFarlane Toys reached right into their classic grab bag and pulled out a complete winner with their DC Multiverse Build-A-Plastic Man wave. Todd was all, hey, that 97 X-Men is getting a lot of media push lately. Let's try to capture some of that with some 90s JLA and some more Spawn. And pretty much everything he built his career on, huh? I wasn't reading JLA at the time, but I remember all the hubbub over Superman Blue. And now that this many years has passed and it's become classic retro, and that's hard for me to say when it comes to the 90s, but I will admit a lot of my songs are on the oldie station. After all that time, I can appreciate this design a whole lot more. Not that I hated it in the first place, I don't hate anything, but seeing it now, I think, man, those blues and the whites, it's just sharp. And I love the cleanness of the body. It's appropriate. And I say it like that because reusing the Three Jokers Batman for that era's Dark Knight, I don't know if it completely works. It adds some textures and some boot plates, and maybe the proportions are a little too jacked, but I can only think that they reuse this because it has the appropriate oval logo on the chest already. Maybe? Speaking of that, I didn't realize the Green Lantern logo on Kyle was removable or a separate piece, because it took me a minute to realize that John Stewart reuses that body. This also brings a lot of texture into play that I don't remember, but at the same time, this doesn't bother me near as much for some reason, because it's neat, I guess. But then there's this Aquaman, who is about as 90s as you can get without guns and pouches. You see this and you think, yep, that's 90s. But as good as most of those look, the real star of the show is Plastic Man. He looks good in normal form. He exceeds all expectations when you attach the stretchy parts. And after I looked at the pictures for a minute, I thought, well, it would be even greater with elongated torso and legs. But then I realized, oh, that would be two complete separate figures, and no toy company's gonna do that. That's too easy. So I figure we're getting all this as a build-up for a wave, and then there'll be a copper edition or silver, gold, platinum, diamond, whatever they want to do with different parts, maybe more Plastic Man, because they gotta reuse at least these heads. Look at that. Even the reflection in the glasses, that is fantastic. No, that's not a reference to Mr. Fantastic. That was completely accidental. Speaking of variants, you know they're gonna go for, why was I about to say glow in the dark? Because what's the obvious variant of Superman blue? You know they're gonna make a Superman red. I will almost guarantee it. I would put money down. Not a whole lot, but some money. I would put some money down that we're gonna see Superman red edition at some point. Or Howl on this lantern body. Make them all match, like a core. I just came up with a great idea, didn't I? And that is all I have for this week. Yes, I'm probably missing a lot of stuff, but I'm still catching up. I was out of town for a whole week. I can't help it. I love going to Comic-Cons, seeing comics and toys and the loose figure dealer and flipping through those pegs and seeing people in person and meeting and talking to people, and I can't help it. But even more important is it gets me off my phone and the internet for an extended amount of time. And sometimes you just need that. Get out into the real world, you know, see what's out there, see new things, see old things, see things. That's what I'm talking about. Not in pictures, in person. I like doing that. Until I realize that I'm an old man and the world's passing me on by and I'm yelling at other drivers and people who cannot put shopping carts into corrals in parking lots. What is y'all's deal? So that makes me ready to get back and get on the live stream, shoot videos, go to the comment sections and everything. It's a give and take. It's a yin and yang. It's a see and saw. It's a balance. And I'm all about balance. Special thanks to the Patreon who got neglected while I was got neglected in the comment section. I wasn't able to reply to people's posts, but I made sure to schedule something every day I was gone. There was some play day teases, some previews or some ideas. There was the upcoming videos. There was some other things. I'm gonna get even more into the habit of just throwing everything onto the Patreon, and then the videos will still be public, but what goes into them, there's going to be more behind the scenes. I'm working on that. If you're on the Patreon, you're going, hey, I get a picture. There's going to be more. Wrapping my brain around doing that, because I think nobody wants to see this. I'm just setting up a shot, or the lighting, or spinning the thing. But then people ask, hey, how do you do that? And I think, oh, okay, maybe people do want to see that. That'll be more content for the Patreon to make it worth y'all's money. You know, I just don't want you throwing money at me. I want to make it feel like you're getting something back. What else? I got, well, if you missed my live stream, I did get some of the Marvel Legends X-Men 97. And I'll probably be reviewing Goblin Queen, Nightcrawler for sure. I got a couple of him, and he is such a damn upgrade to the first version. I thought it was just the sculpted boot tops and gloves, but no, they actually reshaped the musculature a bit. They filled him out slightly. He's still thin, he's still lithe, he's still acrobatic, but I just realized I'm gonna have to cut the blue screen for this, ain't I? Because Kurt's blue. And yes, I picked up Jean Grey. I couldn't help myself. I saw it and I thought, possibilities, and I'm interested in seeing why they keep going back to this no articulation in the torso. It's all in the waist. So I want to see how she works. She moves. Ugliest costume ever, but she has a place in the display. She's X-related. She's a mutant. Bring them on. I think that's it.